AA itself did emphasize its voluntarism initially. It was very much something that you chose to do and you selected to do, although even early on there were interventions and people were encouraged to join it. AA, and this is something most people don't recognize, is a largely coercive institution now, in the sense that the majority of people who end up in AA are forced to go there. They're forced to go there, in most cases directly forced to go there by courts, for DUIs, in family courts, in a variety of legal settings, but also corporate and organizational settings. Social welfare agencies force people to go to AA or 12-step organizations. It's remarkable the extent to which AA is a coercive apparatus now. Occasionally some members of AA bemoan that and say, you know, how can we be expected to deal well with people when they're being forced into this situation? But on the other hand, of course, they welcome the large numbers of people that show up at their door. They're not going to turn them down. And certainly that's true of private treatment centers. They're happy that people are coerced into them. The second aspect of coercion is not a good dynamic for psychological change. It's very explosive. Some people will respond as intended and will change in the hoped for direction. Most will not. They'll drag their feet, and some will have an intense antipathy and have an extreme opposite reaction. It's well documented in psychological and group research that occurs. In fact, there's a whole set of techniques which now have the name motivational interviewing, which rely on involving people in selecting for themselves their own treatment direction and goals and methods. And it's a far superior way for dealing with the large majority of people because it leverages people's own feelings and beliefs and values into a motivation for them to change. And since even under the most stringent treatment circumstances, you don't have people under your control for that long, maybe get them into a hospital for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, you are relying on people to make decisions and carry out their life on their own. You need to enlist their own motivation, and that's the only thing that makes sense.